It is strange how words can often...
Whoa. So that's what happened? Focalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the...
For me, the authority of the ancient dragon, Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be...
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy up. Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Focalor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids into real people too!
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring narwhal. But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability. As for the judgment passed by the Oratrice during the trial, whether it was due to that liability by association or Focalor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off, I cannot say.
Guess Focalor had Fontanians in mind the whole time. And, hang on a second. Back when Fontanians hadn't yet become real humans, were the children they...
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall how Fontanians...
Yeah! Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new...
Paimon, sorta...
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Yeah, about that.
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. I related Focalor's words to her faithfully and completely. After she simply said that she... Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the opera house. Not unlike...
But...
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that... In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit will, of course, take time to heal. But now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon...
What about you then? What are your plans now?
After Focalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration...
Looks like you're still considering...
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first... Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the...
That's true. That power was derived... Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are...
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I cannot...
Wow.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Oh, that's right! They say you've given it to the knave as a diplomatic gift or...
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us during this crisis. Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem the Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more. As such, it has lost all meaning. If the Fatui have impure designs, then we might as well accede to their request now.
What complicated considerations?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume. I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
A nation of dragons?
No, I suspect that I would not. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan. Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like... There is one other piece of information I got incidentally. The Harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
The Captain. Sounds like a real...
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. In the meantime, ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Hang on a sec. When we spoke to Lenny earlier, he mentioned that we guessed that there might be some...
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence division. So regarding this specific issue, I was... In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on.
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's quite a novel blend. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know what you speak of.
Of course. How could I forget? You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
According to your parlance, I believe it may be called a gnosis.
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, but I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you...
I've been training with my master, the Fowl, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. So most of the information I possess, I got from him. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of common sense, which is why there are so many problems in our attempts to communicate with humans. Regardless, you should probably get rid of to live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this world shall all turn to curses.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my...
This third descender you refer to, who are they? And when did they die?
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps it just wasn't that important for me to know. If you're interested, though, I could ask him.
Next time. You believe we will meet?
I do.
That's what she told me. Whether it would
The remains of... So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just...
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should...
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting... I had guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but that means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element-compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third descender. I wonder.
Like being able to use elemental powers without... No, let's not think about this stuff right now. Comparing the Traveler to the dead third descender and all? That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad... Once Child recovers, let's get some more...
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information...
All right.
Yes. All of Focalor's efforts were for this moment as well.
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a...
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will. I suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes were like life flows like water. And what, ultimately, is the difference between the rains that fall upon all of us?